Hello, my name is Cody Rosenbarker. I work at Frederick Community College in the Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging, and my title is the Manager of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging. So here at the Mosaic Center, and Mosaic is an acronym for Making Our Spaces an Inclusive Community, we do a lot to make sure that we are providing a welcoming space for our students. And so we rotate our programming so that we are inviting and welcoming everyone's whole self. A couple of the dimensions of self that we try to hit on is mental health and victim status. And so regularly we are bringing this subject up, and we find that it is one of the students' biggest needs and biggest areas of just a question that they have in regular life. How do we talk about these topics in a helpful way? I used to be the only person that worked in the Mosaic Center. We now have 5 student workers, and so there's a little bit more expertise that we can draw on. But to be honest, I cannot represent, and I don't represent a whole lot of diversity. And so for me, it is really important to rely on the expertise of other people. So Hartley House was an obvious example for us. As somebody who has been working in the field, a close local organization that has good relationships with the people that they work with, and something well beyond what I could do as an individual. It was kind of an easy choice to reach out and rely on somebody else's expertise. Working with them makes sure that we are creating a program and environment that is the best possible program that we can. They are knowledgeable, they are experienced with these types of things, and even down to the terminology that we used. So one example is when we were conceptualizing the program, we were looking into domestic violence. We learned through the Hartley House that this wasn't necessarily the best term, it wasn't the most inclusive, and so when we eventually settled on power-based violence, that is a more inclusive term that envelops more stories and makes sure that more people can be involved and see themselves in it. So that's just one example of something that we needed this knowledge and expertise, and then we're able to rely on Hartley House for that. This is consistently one of the topics that students really want to hear about. Students care about each other. They are probably the ones that are most in tune to each other's mental health. Of course, they have adults in their lives that care about them, but the stories that they share with each other are perhaps more real and raw. So students want to know how to care for each other, and this in particular, survivors of power-based violence and things of that nature is one of the ones that people are afraid to talk about, afraid to open that conversation because they're afraid what impacts that they might have, what results might come of it, how they might negatively influence things. And so the ability to come to a program like this and have these conversations is just really, really valuable for our students. Some of what we do is try to be immediate, meaning the problems that are existing today, we try to react to them because those are what is most relevant to our students' lives. Sometimes that immediacy is in conflict with expertise. So if I am reacting to something, and it doesn't always mean that I have the best base of knowledge, I haven't been able to find the right people or learn about it myself or get the right involvement. And so I think this partnership and working on programs like this has a beautiful balance of the two. It is both immediate for our students, it is relevant to their lives and what they're experiencing, either personally or with a friend, while also being able to offer expertise, lived experience, and people's raw, lived, real life stories. So it really results in some of the most impactful, powerful programming that we have.